Welcome back to another episode of Down in 216, hosted by your boy Will here, man. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today as we get into another interesting video topic? Now, the Cleveland Browns have came off their, I don't know how many losses in a row we at. What we at, like four? We lost to the Titans, we lost to the Bills, we lost to the Bears, we lost to 49ers. This is like our fourth loss in a row. Um, Quishon Junkins breaks his leg. Tough. Tough. I don't know if I'm the only person that feels like I feel like every year it gets a little bit harder to be a Browns fan. Like I know we love this, team and this city, and we're all extremely well spirited about our Browns, but man, it's been kind of hard. This team is not giving anybody anything, nothing to cheer for. Everything we cheer for gets taken away or we get delayed. Like if we was gonna be ass, we could have been playing Shador this entire season. At least we would have had something to watch. Um, but everything about this season has just been a nightmare. Um, we're starting to get some of the reports that Kevin Stefanski is gonna be fired, and Andrew Berry is gonna be heavily involved with the decision making. So it seems like the Cleveland Browns are starting to unmarry these two of Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski and co, which is interesting to say the least. I think Andrew Berry saved his job with pretty much drafting the draft class he got. So I think that's interesting. So it seems as if the record itself is just trying to get Kevin Stefanski fired. Now, what do the Browns do going forward? It's kind of hard to evaluate this team at quarterback because everybody's biggest thing is, hey, do we take a QB? Do we trade back? Do we take a run? A tight, offensive lineman? What should the Browns do? Now, I will come away. It's two sides to it. It's a side that look at like, hey, Shador was a fifth round pick. Um, why would you invest so much into a fifth round pick? You got the number one pick in the draft. You got the number two pick in the draft. Go take Dante Moore. Go take Fernando Mendoza. Get a first round quality pick and go from there. Now, what I will say is that it's kind of disingenuous and wrong, I think, at this point to say he's a fifth round pick. So I think we got to kind of get out of that mindset. Um, I think there is something there with Shador. I just don't know if how much is it sustainable. I don't know what he looks like when you give him a full off season with the number one reps. I don't know. When it's just like the quarterback position with the Browns is such a hard job to look decent at. It's hard to evaluate anything, but I will say out of the last QBs we've had, he's shown promise the most. So do you take a quarterback super duper high in a draft and make this quarterback controversy a little bit more complicated when you got four QBs? I think you would have to trade Shador. If they want to go with Fernando Mendoza, I'm not mad at it. If he comes in here and he's the QB that we need, maybe we could get some value out of Shador. Maybe we could get like a third or a second round pick for him. But at the end of the day, we're betting on who Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza to be better than Shador Sanders, who we already have in our building. I just don't like doing that, man. I don't feel comfortable losing that to a first round pick because at the end of the day, we have first round picks before. We took Baker number one overall. Number one overall. And he was not the best QB in his class. He was in the top three QB in his class. Baker right now don't look like he better than Sam Darnold, if y'all want me to be honest with y'all, and I'm a Baker fan. So even if we take Fernando, even if we take Dante Moore, what's the chances that we can actually develop them? What's the chances that we can actually not break them and put them in the bad habits? What's the chances that we can actually build around them? I have yet to see that. I have yet to see that. So I just don't think it's that much of a guarantee that one of those guys can succeed here. But because of that, you got to pretty much get dropped in the Cleveland Browns, and you're already getting put in the drama because there's Shador Sanders is there. You got Deshaun Watson. You got Dylan Gabriel. Like, you're getting thrown into a horrible situation as if you're Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza. The Browns is probably the worst team you could play for. They're the worst team to get the number one overall pick. They're the worst situation because it's too dysfunctional. I think that if you go to the Raiders, you at least know that you're the guy. You go to the Jets, you know that you're the guy. The Browns, you got to figure out what they're going to do with Shador. Is he going to start or you going to start? Now, if Shador looks better than you in camp, now it's like he's a young guy. How long is he going to have my starting job? Then it's like, okay, if Fernando Mendoza can't beat out Shador Sanders next year, fresh into his rookie season, he's now a kind of a negative asset because we just took the number one overall pick and set him on a bench. So now this team is going to be the same current team. Even if it had a slightly better quarterback, I don't think we'd be that much better as a team. I think we still have our same record. So that's where it comes into. I get the oh yeah, let's just take a QB shit. I get it. Like, I'm understanding of what you guys' side is, but I just feel like the level of QB play for what this offense is currently brought into. Like, if you drop Pat Mahomes into this team, Pat Mahomes probably don't look like Pat Mahomes. So I don't know, man. I think it's a tough decision to make. So I'm not gonna be the one on here yelling at anybody. And honestly, with the way the Browns care about football, there's no reason any of us should be yelling, man. They don't care. Like, they don't care. Like, I hate to say it, but they don't care no more than me and you watching this video. So I think that it's gonna be interesting to say the least. I wouldn't drop Fernando Mendoza in this situation. I just think it's a very dysfunctional situation to bring the quarterback into. I think even if the Browns, quote unquote, don't know their guy, I don't think we're gonna be good no time soon, man. I don't think we're gonna be bad enough to not get another first round pick. I would prefer us to trade back and get a 2027 first round pick. We traded with the Jaguars, they turned up, so that's pretty much like a damn second. So we need to essentially get another first round pick if we trade back. I would trade back to maybe like 8, 9, grab the first offensive tackle off the board. And then we could go into this year stacking up offensive tackle, stacking up wide receiver, and building a better foundation to bring a quarterback in maybe 2027. Maybe Arch Manning shows promise and starts to deliver, and people wanna see him play. Then we can say, okay, hey, we gave Shador a full year with a little bit revamped offense. If he doesn't look good, we're gonna probably be bad anyway. So I don't know. And then if you look at yards wise, Mendoza isn't that great against yards. Yes, he took Indiana, who's never been anywhere, and made them the number one overall spot. But I think that's also relied on, team game and team effort. He's probably a great talent and he's probably going to be good, but I just think it's hard to overcome the mental task of being a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And I think that's something that's severely underrated. I look at Deshaun Watson. He was mentally strong as he could be, but it wasn't easy playing here. It's not easy playing here. Look at Baker Mayfield. And look at Shador Sanders, who he's dealing with. Look at what Dylan Gabriel dealt with. It's not easy playing here, especially right now when you got Shador Sanders on the team. So I think it would be very dysfunctional to bring a quarterback into that situation without getting rid of at least. I would for sure get rid of Shador. In that situation. So I think the Browns got a lot to discover, a lot to think about. Kevin Stefanski should be on the way out, so that should be at least a positive. A lot of people were so big on he's gonna get another opportunity. Like, okay, I think that's why Kevin Stefanski behaves the way he behaves in videos. He is super professional. Because he knows he has to eventually get another opportunity somewhere else. I talked to somebody that cut his hair, and he said that he'd be joking about keeping his job anyway. So I think that Kevin Stefanski, if I was to predict it, is going to be fired by January, by my birthday. So it'd be an early birthday gift for me. But yeah, man. So it's pretty hard being a Browns fan. I would not lie to you guys. Y'all comment know how y'all feel. And my take on this. Is the Brown? I don't think the Browns is a quarterback away. You know, long story short, I don't think you drop Fernando Mendoza into this, and he looks good. And if he doesn't look good his first year, second year, how are we going to be able to develop him? He's going to develop with bad habits. He's going to be scared for his life playing behind our offensive line. Any other quarterback we had is scared for their life. So he's gonna be seeing ghosts, and they're gonna be losing. So I don't know, man. I think everybody on this coaching staff should be fired, and hopefully they will be soon. Y'all comment down below how y'all feel about it. It's your boy Will. If you made it this far in the video, comment 11 for 11 minutes. I'm out. Peace.